Hi. Hello. Welcome. It is time for Atomic Radio Hour. I'm your host, Vince, and I'm also here with...
your pretty and pastel host, Olive. How are you today, my friend?
I'm alright, dude. What's new? What's going on? What's happening?
Not much, honestly. It's been a lot of work recently.
Yeah.
It's been super busy, and I've had staff that has been calling off a lot, so it's mostly just been me filling in the gaps and just kind of wrapping my head around things.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, this week I'm going to be heading out and doing a little vacation with my boyfriend, so it's going to be a fun little getaway.
Cool.
Find some time to relax.
Nice. Did my stream
Today
come
I
back?
got my nails done. Yes, your stream is back.
Okay.
I think for anyone that's
Sure.
watching, I got my nails done today. They're these beautiful yellow claws. Just trying to find time to myself, you know?
Yeah. You playing anything?
Actually, have been playing something. I've been playing Subnautica Below Zero,
Oh, yeah?
which is the Arctic sequel to Subnautica, one of my very favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was my favorite game of 2018, if I remember giving it a title.
Okay.
But it's super cool. It's got a really interesting story. It has a voice protagonist, but in a good way. Because there's not really any NPCs to interact with. You're mostly alone, but you can listen to your own logs as you discover things. So it's really cool.
Yeah, because it's more of a narrative game. I've never played
Yeah.
Subnautica, but that's a game that needs a voiced protagonist.
You find some underwater ruins and you're like, day 392. I found the ruins of the ancients, and it's super cool.
That is cool.
And this one actually has some landmass that you can play on.
Mm-hmm.
In the first one, the only landmass is a little island.
Oh.
But on this one, there's an Arctic shelf that you can chill on, and there's old outposts and satellites and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's neat to see that there was actually people here at once. Because in Subnautica 1, there's only a couple people that had been set adrift.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt very uninhabited and very alone. But with this one, there's so much left behind of old research teams that it feels like a world that was lived in a way that the first one didn't.
Really?
Yeah, it's super duper cool.
Guess what I did last weekend?
What would that be?
I finally went back to a movie theater.
I did too.
What'd you see?
I saw Black Widow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was all right.
An intellectual, went to a theater to see an art piece. I saw a documentary. I've never seen a documentary in a movie theater.
Really?
Yeah, I saw Roadrunner. It's the documentary about Anthony Bourdain.
That's really cool.
Yeah, dude. I found out about Bourdain when I first moved out here. My sister hooked it up with the HBO account because she got some deal where Hulu and HBO together or something. And I was flipping through, and I added I added Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I still haven't watched, and a bunch of other great HBO stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, Parts Unknown is on here. I'll watch that. And I fell in love with the show. I fell in love with how Bourdain traveled and spoke to people and learned about it wasn't even just him with the food, it was him learning about the people and learning about their culture and learning about...
food is culture.
Yeah, but it was more than just that. There's not Bourdain, but another guy. He's a heavy dude, real round fella, bald face, bald head. I don't know his name, but he's one of those
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, if you grew up watching the Food Network like I did, you know who I'm talking about. He said he said no matter where he ever went, he could meet a bunch of people and they could hate him, but at the end of the day, they both had to eat. And because he was a guest, they would often serve him. So it's just this conduit of how people get along, right? Mm-hmm. But if you have HBO Max or if you have the ability to go to a theater like I did, see this movie. Even if you don't really know anything about Bourdain, I don't like the term hero, and I don't really know him all that much, but what's so sad about him is he lived the life I wish I led.
Really?
He traveled the world and he ate, and he got to do a bunch of neat stuff, and he was still so unhappy that he killed himself. Like, I would have switched places with him in a heartbeat. He lived what some would have thought was a perfect life, and he was still that unhappy. You know what I mean? Just an interesting, like, I want to go get his book.
Someone that I know has the book.
Your dad.
My dad has it.
I bet you any amount of money he has.
Someone around here has it. I just saw it on someone's coffee table.
Wait, his first book or one of his other books?
It was what was the name of the documentary?
The documentary is called Roadrunner.
Yeah, that was the name of the book, I think.
I don't think he had a book called Roadrunner. His first book that like blew up, that like, I don't think so. I could be wrong. But the first book that he had that blew up that made him who he was called Kitchen Confidential. And it was like a memoir of working in kitchens and like going from being, he took a job as like a dishwasher because he was like, it, like I need a job, and then worked his way up to the head chef.
Yeah.
And he was like a heroin addict. He's just a fascinating guy. Like just, yeah. Yeah.
It was Kitchen Confidential that I'm thinking of.
I want to read it.
Yeah, it came out in 2000.
Yes.
Kitchen Confidential, Adventures in the Culinary Underbelly.
Yeah, there's a quote of him saying that, like, working in food is only for the dedicated, only for people that, like that have,
like a true love for it.
No, like integrity. Like, you had to be, like, someone who was regimented. Like, almost to the point of it being, like, military. Like, this needs to happen this way all the time. It needs to be on time. Like, there's a clip of him in, like, 2000, if not 98, 99. And he's like, where the fuck is my fish guy? He's like, I would never be late to the restaurant. None of my cooks would ever be late to the restaurant. But the fish guy, he's an hour and a half late. Like, it's just
like my father.
It's a good movie. And what's really cool is when I bought my ticket, I had to buy my ticket online, which I've never done before. Bought my ticket online.
Was it like a Cinemark or like an AMC or something?
No, it was an independent theater to the point where I wanted to call. I even walked in. I was like, is this the Nickelodeon? Like, I wanted to be like artsy fartsy about it. Like, you could get and getting alcohol at a theater is a totally new thing to me. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot that you can do that.
Yeah, like back in Pennsylvania, their liquor laws are extremely strict. So like
the closest theater that serves alcohol to our hometown is like 2 hours away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like on the outside of Philly, I think.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's a woman who started working at where I work, and she said something today, and she said it with a Philly accent, and I went, "Where the fuck are you from?" And she went, I'm like 20 minutes. She goes, Delaware, 20 minutes out of Philly. And I went, oh my God, I felt like I was back home again. I forget what she said. And she was saying about like the cultural differences. And we were talking for like 10, 15 minutes. And I walked away and I came back and I just looked at her and I went, John. And she goes, yeah, yes. And we talked about that for a few minutes, but yeah. I made some chili this weekend.
Ooh.
I made it way too hot. Way too hot.
Like too spicy?
Okay, so what I did is I went to my supermarket and I bought 3 bags.
You could probably neutralize that with some lime, you know.
Probably. Well, listen. I bought 2 bags of peppers. So it's 3 ounces of dried peppers. You take them apart, take the seeds out. What kind of peppers? One was New Mexican. The other one I don't remember the name of. And then the other one were these little red ones, like maybe an inch long.
Were they dried?
Yeah. So, because I was watching a video, you take dried peppers, you throw them in like a pan real quick, you toast them, you get them all warm and shit, and then you put them in you put water over them, you let them kind of steep for like 10, 15 minutes, pour it all in a food processor.
Like chiles anchos, like that.
Sure. Throw it all in a food processor, you make paste.
Yes.
And I had these little red ones, and I went, it says that they're hot, but, I'll just use half the bag. I won't use the whole bag. And I took like one bite and I went, oh no. Like it's not hot where you don't taste anything, but it's hot where like the back of your mouth and throat.
And you're like, whoo!
And you're just sweating and your nose is real runny and shit. And like,
you use this to cure all sickness.
yeah. Like my immune system's going to be great for a while. So I'm like looking up what to do. So, okay, here's the thing. I poured everything out and normally I'll rinse out the pan when I'm done with it. Mm-hmm. So I rinse out the pan and I put it back on the stove just for space, just so I didn't take up the entire sink. And something happened where like I went to go back, put the pan back and cook something again later. And all of a sudden I take a deep breath in and I'm coughing and I get this burning sensation all throughout my nose and the back of my throat. And I'm just
That was
coughing.
the capsaicin oil that was left on the pan.
I was like, I pepper sprayed myself.
Yes, that's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
I'm like walking around my place choking. This wine bottle that I have, it looks like I have a problem. I'm drinking out of like 4 different wine bottles now. Like, if somebody just walks in and I didn't fill these and put them in the fridge, it looks like I'm a heavy drinker. I'm sitting there, I drank like 3 of them and I'm chugging them going, oh my God. But yogurt, dude. Yogurt neutralizes the capsaicin.
The Gert.
I bought plain Greek. And it's good as shit.
One time I put some capsaicin in my eyes, and the only way I could fix it is to go into the shower and stare into cold water for an hour.
Really? You
Yes.
know my jalapenos that I make, that I like half them?
Yeah,
and,
the little poppers.
yeah. I made those once and I was cutting them up and I was sweat. It was a hot like August day. And I was
you wipe your brow in it.
Dude, I was crying. I was like, I'm gonna go blind. I was like, I'm never gonna see again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I finished the book The Road. Remember we were talking about that last week?
Yeah, the depressing one.
Yes.
So how did it end? Are you gonna spoil it for
Depressingly,
us?
no, I won't spoil it because we're going to review the movie at some point. So I'll talk about the book with the movie. But it just kind of ends. Like, that's the only thing. Like, there's a lot of things in it
As
that
if the writer just stopped writing the events of what's
no,
going on.
no. Like, you can tell that there's other stories to be told, but it doesn't matter. And that's like the whole theme of the book is that nothing matters. Nobody has a name because it doesn't matter. Things aren't written the way they're usually written in a book. There's no apostrophes. There's no quotations because it doesn't matter. None of that shit matters in a post-apocalyptic setting. The only thing that matters is, do we have enough to eat tonight?
Right.
It's incredibly depressing. It's incredibly gray. I really liked it. I couldn't, like, I read it and I was like, this is the first book I finished in over a decade.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can't wait to I can't wait to watch the movie.
Did you get any other apocalypse fiction?
No, I haven't gone back yet. When I go back to the bookstore, I want to get that Anthony Bourdain book. I want to get the commentary. Because, I want to put it on the shelf.
Yes.
I want to put it on the shelf with my copy of New Vegas, because I have the box set of New Vegas here, the special collector's edition. I want to put the commentary under it. So it's like sitting, like once I've read it. Yeah.
That's really cool.
There's a couple other books. There's some political stuff I want to get just because I kind of want to read like the great American classics. Like I want to read
like The Great Gatsby or
fuck Gatsby. I read Gatsby in high school.
Gatsby.
I hated Gatsby.
Yeah. That dude's a bitch.
I want to read. He was kind of a cuck. I want to read stuff like 1984.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I mean? Like
what
I
about
want to
War
read
of the Worlds. You should get War of the Worlds.
Yeah, I should. I wonder.
It's a script, but
My whole no, it isn't.
Isn't it?
No, when Orson Welles did the radio play, I had that on vinyl.
Or the radio play.
I had it on vinyl.
For real?
I had the recording of him on vinyl doing it with commercials
That's so
and everything.
cool.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have that with you in Colorado?
No, it's back home. I might have redonated it.
Really?
Like when
I would have liked to have that.
Yeah, I know, me too. I'm a dumbass and didn't keep it. I might have it in my collection of other stuff because I have my stuff and then the stuff I would sample, and it was in that pile. So I'd have to go through that pile to find it. No, it was a book that they took to make the radio play because it's an hour long. A lot of people think that War of the Worlds. See, the thing is, the story with War of the Worlds is that everybody tuned in at the
Halfway
wrong
through.
time,
Yeah.
and there's like commercials of it saying like, what you're hearing now. Let me do my best transatlantic accent. What you're hearing now
please.
is Orson Welles reading a passage of War of the Worlds, and people heard it as if it was real.
There are aliens just
Well, no, did you ever hear it? Did you if you ever there's a part in there where it's something like a large cylindrical shape stretches down from the skies and reaches Earth, and then
It sounds like a newscast, yeah.
oh shit, I just bumped the John. It doesn't sound like a newscast. It's just him telling a story on Halloween. It's a scary story. They thought, let's tell a scary story. But since it's a first-hand account, people thought it was a thing. So before we get into it, there's a few other things we got to talk about real quick. We got to talk about this new 76 thing.
Yeah, let me pull that up. I have it on a different tab.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about this?
Sure. So the thing, it was tweeted by Bethesda, but it's a little website, and it says, Fallout Worlds brings your own custom Appalachia to Fallout 76. Fallout Worlds offers personalized Fallout experiences for you and your friends, as well as the power to customize your private servers into your very own personal world. One of the things we love best about video games and strive for in every game we create is that you can make them your own. Not just in the way that you play them, but in your ability to change them. Our modding community has been an enormous part of our games for the past 20 years, and it's always been our long-term goal for Fallout 76 to give you your own servers to customize for yourself and your friends. After much iteration, we're thrilled to reveal an exciting new system that's just the beginning for creating all new experiences designed by you. And that's, quote, Fallout Worlds. Which is probably that's the mission statement of the team. So what is Fallout Worlds? Fallout Worlds, with Fallout Worlds, your imagination is the limit when under the sky of your own personal Appalachia. Utilize a wide list of customizable settings. Players can construct camps in previously restricted areas, or even remove the need for electricity to establish a builder's paradise. Love Fallout 76's survival mechanics? You can double down on braving Appalachia's untamed wilds by changing the PvP rules and difficulty settings, and those are just two examples of what's possible with Fallout Worlds. Combine unlimited combat AP and infinite ammo to become a mighty wasteland warrior, configure creature spawns for serious big game hunting, control the weather such as fog, nuclear radiation, or even quantum storms, turn on absurd jumping heights, or just remember to turn off fall damage. Enable ragdoll physics, change the height limit on settlements, and more.
Oh, wow. Here's the $1 million question, though. How much is this going to cost?
And the list of customizations will expand with updates. So when you start a game after the update in September, you'll be introduced to 2 new modes as part of Fallout Worlds public worlds and custom worlds.
You know they're getting rid of the nuclear winter. They're getting rid of
It's going away forever?
I don't know if we did or didn't. I might have talked about this with Kyle when you weren't here. Yeah, they're getting rid of the Battle Royale game. It's just going away.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought people really liked it.
It was fun. I played it for a while. It was a reason to jump back
Worlds, in. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Keep going.
I thought you were finished with your thought.
Now I am.
So it says Public Worlds for all. Public Worlds are rotating series of Fallout Worlds experiences available to all players, handcrafted by the team at Bethesda Game Studios, with input from the 76 community. Each public world uses a different combination of Fallout World gen settings, and it brings you a unique play experience. This offers everyone in Fallout 76 the opportunity to see for themselves what's possible with Fallout Worlds, as well as inspiration for their own custom worlds. Custom worlds completely evolves the personalization of 76's existing private servers, granting active Fallout First members full access to Fallout World settings and features to build their own personalized Appalachias.
Okay, so
while players can experiment like mad scientists to their heart's content in solo, custom worlds is also a blast to share with others. Invite your friends and teammates to your custom worlds, and they can join on for the fun, even if they don't have a Fallout First membership. So just your server admin has to have a membership.
get the out of here. That's still bullshit.
Yeah. And there are public test servers that are out now.
It almost seemed like they were going in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's just, if anybody's still
there's
playing...
There's going to be a bunch of updates, it says. So this is just the beginning.
If anybody's still playing, congrats. They're still working on it. I want to get... I almost started playing it again yesterday, 3 days ago, on the Series X, and then it was like, sign into your Bethesda net account. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get off. I was like, I don't feel like trying to remember what this is.
Yeah.
So, that's that.
That's that.
You want to get into the lore?
As much as I'd love to get into this lore, we have some people to thank for making this show possible.
Can we thank someone real quick, before we do that?
Yes.
On screen will be pictures of...
If you're a visual
listener.
learner.
Or listener. On screen, if you're visual, will be pictures of Lamp from the Discord. He bought a shirt. I think he's one of the first people to buy a shirt.
Shout out to the Deadly Lampshade.
There will be pictures on screen. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that shirt.
Look at that.
Look at that shirt.
Look at it.
It's all up in that. Oh, look at all that shirt.
We designed that. We designed that together, and now it's on a T-shirt.
I designed it.
We came together and designed it. I think we've told the story before, but we were like, hey, let's have...
We had the same idea.
It was like the same thing. Yeah, and it was like, all right, fuck it, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
So there's that. It helps support the show. There's a bunch of different designs on there. I've been saying for 3 months that I want to go in there and update it, and I still do, but I need Shithead to help me.
Me, I'm Shithead.
Yeah. So there is some stuff there. It helps support the show. What's wild is that he's all the way out in the UK, and he bought a shirt.
UK listeners represent.
But okay, let's thank the Patreon. Another fine flock. I can't think of a word that has the sound for alliteration, but another fine group of people that help support the show, the program, all the other stuff we do here.
Yes, our Patreon. The folks that support our show keep the lights on here and bring us to your ears every week. First up is the OG Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Thanks, Noah. Next up is Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
Thanks, Danny. Then it's Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
Good to see ya. Then it's Bones Jones.
Thank you, Bones Jones.
And last but not least, it's Girth Brooks.
Thanks, Girth Brooks.
Thank you, folks, so much for supporting our show. It's because of you that we can do this, and we really, really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Hey, Vince, do you want to get into this lore?
Yes. Okay, so like I've said before, what I've been doing with the lore is that if you want in on the lore, if you want to say what we
get
are
in
going...
on this lore train.
If you want to say what's going to be the lore of these episodes... at least for now, what I'm doing is I'm asking a question, and the first person to get it right, picks the lore. First week, it was a number, 1 through 10. Somebody got it. Second week was a color. Shithead who shouldn't have played got it right. And this week, it was a country. I didn't realize the place that I had picked out in my head was a country. It wasn't a country.
Wait, what did you pick?
I picked Constantinople.
That's not a country. That's a city.
I didn't know that. See, what I thought it was what Turkey was originally called.
No.
So, but here's the thing.
It's Istanbul.
Well, yes, now I understand that. And before all that, it was the Byzantine Empire. But
Yes.
I didn't know that. I thought, I don't know how I got it mixed up. I don't know how I started thinking that it was, but I said, you know what? It's Constantinople. And if anybody says Turkey, I'll give it to them. Because even
So who said Turkey?
Lamp.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I think even Lamp's first guess was Czechoslovakia, and he's like, that's not a country anymore. And then he even said in his next comment, he never said it had to be a country that's still in use or whatever. So I don't know what next week will be, but if you want to get a chance to pick what the lore is, there's a link in the description below to our Discord. Please join. Tuesday, Wednesday, I will ask the question. Whoever gets it right first picks this week's lore, which Lamp has chosen. This is open to everybody. All you have to do is join the Discord. This week's lore, Lamp chose John Hancock. So again, we're doing another companion from Fallout 4.
Yep.
So I want to just preface this with, this isn't so much the wiki's fault. This is the writing of Fallout 4's fault. Mayor McDonough's never given a first name.
His first name's Mayor?
Yeah, so I'm going to refer to him as Mayor as if he's like Mayor Hawthorne. And I will refer to John McDonough as John McDonough until the transition to Hancock. But yeah, Mayor McDonough just doesn't have a name. So,
wait, Mayor McDonough is... Wait, I didn't know they were related.
Yeah. So listen, John Hancock, born John McDonough, had a tumultuous relationship with his brother. And then I have written here, Mayor McDonough doesn't have a first name. John says that his brother was very entitled and he used to shove old potatoes down the back of his shirt and then squish them. By 2282, Mayor McDonough ran for mayor of Diamond City.
First name Mayor.
First name Mayor. He ran on an anti-ghoul platform. This created hatred and animosity between the citizens that were mutated and the other citizens that were not mutated, and kind of ramped up the whole synth thing.
Yeah.
Of the whole, oh, they're coming for us, and they're not people type argument that was being made within Diamond City. Confronted him after his inauguration speech and kind of said how disappointed he was in his brother. And the now Mayor McDonough had like no remorse for what he did. He was just like,
sorry, brother, you're just not people.
He's human at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotcha. Hold on. We'll get into how he becomes. So that's another thing that I'm not huge on with Hancock is that he's not a ghoul from jump. But like not he becomes a ghoul, but like I'm not upset because it's like, well, how come he could turn into a ghoul that quick? Moira Brown turns into a ghoul almost instantly, and I'm pretty sure the citizens of Necropolis turned into ghouls fairly quick anyway.
Mm-hmm. So
didn't
Necropolis happen over like a span of like a week, like a couple days?
I don't know if it's a week. I want to say it's within 20 years, which is a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, really isn't a long time.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like imagine just mutating. Like I think 20 years to mutate. Like I'm not saying 20 years your hair turns a different color, it falls out. This is you mutate. Your DNA has become different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 20 years.
I've been mutating over the course of like 2 years.
But have you? Has your DNA changed?
No, it has.
So then you're not a mutant. You're a freak, but you're not a mutant. So he confronts his brother about this, and he's like, dude, what the fuck? And Mayor McDonough is just kind of self-congratulatory and says that the city pretty much is his. Like, he doesn't feel bad about this. Like, he's just like, yes, it is mine now. am the
It is my
mayor.
Diamond City.
Yeah. So then John McDonough tries to relocate as many ghouls as possible to Goodneighbor, but is controlled by mob boss Vic.
Is his first name Mob Boss?
Well, on the wiki it says mob boss Vic, and you can click on Vic, and it takes you to another wiki page, but I didn't click on mob boss because I assumed it was going to take me to a page about titles. Are you on the wiki?
It takes you to the Triggerman.
Oh, okay. So he was a triggerman.
Yes.
Fine. He controlled Goodneighbor. Many of the ghouls that he took, many of the people that he took, not even just ghouls, but just the people that came with him, couldn't acclimate, and they wound up leaving Goodneighbor, and they fled into the ruins of Boston, and they mostly succumbed to violence and starvation. There's a quick little passage I want to read that's directly from Hancock. He says in game, should I read this in a ghoul voice?
Could you please? It really helps.
I've been sneaking off to Goodneighbor for years to get decent chems, so I knew the safe routes. Managed to track down a couple of the families, lead 'em there, but most couldn't get used to the Goodneighbor lifestyle. I brought them food for a couple weeks, but after that, they just disappeared.
Haven't done that in a while. Thanks.
For being out of practice, you're very.
I mean,
very good.
That wasn't Ron.
Yeah,
it
was a completely different.
Yeah, he fell into a deep depression and started to abuse drugs and alcohol even more. He then tried to use an experimental drug that was radioactive to turn himself into a ghoul, and he said that it was, quote, so worth it.
So worth it?
Yeah, to turn himself into a ghoul. One of the triggers for the depression getting as bad as it got is that he saw a drifter get murdered by Vic and he didn't stand in. Now, the wiki claims that he knew he couldn't do anything about it, but just the fact that it was a defenseless person.
Mm-hmm. That he, was so desensitized that he couldn't, do that.
He was just f***ed up that he didn't, jump in and try to
He
help.
felt guilty.
Yeah, he felt
guilty.
a ton of guilt because of this. He went on a massive bender. And I'm even looking at the quote right now, and it says, I felt like less than nothing. Afterwards, I got so high I blacked out completely. Which sounds like it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, when you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, that's something that happens on the regular.
But your mental space surrounding it could be different.
But the fact that he just blacked out completely, most people that go on benders regularly because they have a substance abuse problem, black out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I wasn't huge. He eventually woke up lying on the old State House floor next to a replica set of John Hancock's clothing. One of the founding fathers of America, he took the clothing and the name Hancock. He vowed to get together a revolutionary army and overthrow Vic. He grabbed some drifters and had Cleo even loan him some weapons. Now, I think Cleo was one of the best characters in 4.
I love how she was just like, give me money, I give you gun.
Yeah,
that was just kind of it, and I really liked the one-noteness.
I like me a strong woman, even if she's
Especially
a robot.
when that woman is made of metal.
Yeah.
Hancock and his militia gathered where Vic and his crew congregated, waited for them to get incredibly intoxicated, and then massacred Vic and his boys. So here's a quote from Hancock himself that, again, I get all my lore off fallout.fandom.com. This is a quote from Hancock right off the wiki.
So the night of, we all got loaded, let Vic's boys get good and hammered, and burst from the windows and rooftops where we've been hiding. They never saw it coming. We didn't have to fire a shot. We didn't have to. But we sure fucking did. It was a massacre.
Looking down from the balcony where he hung Vic. So he took Vic and hung him from a balcony. From the balcony, which I'm pretty sure is...
Like
hangings.
Yeah.
So...
turn him into a human disco ball.
Yes, I think it's from the balcony where he gives that speech when you get to Goodneighbor 2.
Yeah.
And he looked down at the from the balcony. He looked down and to see that most of the town had gathered to see what was going on. And he shouted, "Of the people, for the people." And at that point, he was no longer John McDonough and became John Hancock and became the mayor of Goodneighbor. In 2287, Hancock is still mayor. Most citizens look up to him. And after Bobby No-No's heist attempt, he feels too safe. What's that?
I just like Bobby
Bobby
No-Nos.
No-Nos, yeah. He feels too safe. Oh, the sole survivor says to him, "Why would you want to leave Goodneighbor?"
For one, you pulled a job on me. That means I'm getting too comfortable. Need to get out there and hone my razor. For two, Goodneighbor is about doing your own thing. And if you don't leave every once in a while, the power is going to change me. Can't have that.
So,
I think that's a pretty like enlightened perspective.
yeah.
Like if you're doing the same thing, you're gonna get used to it, and you're gonna go soft.
A bowler staying there is going to do nothing but make an indent and stay there longer.
Right.
But that's pretty much him. There's a couple
What
things.
about his companion quests? I've like never done his companion quest at all.
I think that's the companion quest. Do Bobby No-Noses, and then you get him.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm not seeing like a companion quest here, to be honest. I didn't write anything. Like normally they'll tell you, like with Curie, Curie had one.
It was really spelled out.
You know what I mean? Like this didn't say. I'm even on the page right now. There is nothing on here that describes what his quest is. The last thing on here is it says Mayor of Goodneighbor, and it ends with the sole survivor can now use him as a possible companion.
I guess that's it.
So,
I'm looking at his concept art. It's grisly.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Here's some things that I'll read off real quick. He's also in the Fallout the board game. He's a companion there. If Finn is killed by the sole survivor, Hancock will be rather calm and applaud the player character. He recognizes Nick from Diamond City. The upper floor of the memory den, the player character can break into Irma's terminal and read about Hancock that states, well, let's just say if you thought he was handsome and dangerous now, you should have seen him before he turned into a ghoul. According to Deacon, Hancock turns
That seems a little bit ghoul-phobic.
Do you think so?
A little bit.
I don't think so. Well, let's just say if you
No?
thought he was handsome and dangerous now, you should have saw him before he turned into a ghoul. She wants a ghoul.
I mean, don't you?
No.
That's fair.
No. So, before you cut me off, according to Deacon, Hancock turns a blind eye to the railroad's activities in Goodneighbor. This can also be noted by the existence of a Join the Railroad holotape on his coffee table. If taken to Vault 81, some of the residents there will insult him, to which he'll reply with a witty remark. Doesn't say what it is, but it says that's there. If one has him around after completing In Sheep's Clothing, he will express regret for being wrongly angry with his brother because his brother was a synth.
That's actually cool. I didn't know about that.
Piper refers to him as her second least favorite mayor. Haha, I love her.
That is funny.
Sometimes if the player character fires a few random bullets, Hancock will say, wait, you see him too? Here's something that really bothered me. Really bothered me. You know how I feel about a lot of the decisions that were made for Fallout 4. At what point during development, Hancock was not marked as essential and could be killed normally? Unused commentary from Finn alludes to this fact.
But then he was made into a companion.
Yeah. According to
Wait, you see him too? That's so funny.
According to a relationship marker in the game files, Fahrenheit is Hancock's daughter. This is never alluded to in game. I have no clue who Fahrenheit is.
Wait, that sounds familiar. Fahrenheit?
I read
Where's
that correctly, right? I'm looking it up now. Hold on, watch. It's going to be like Fahrenheit, the imperial version of thing.
Where's that under?
I've never seen this. Fahrenheit is a bodyguard of John Hancock. It's in behind the scenes. It says that it's cut, but it's in the games file, but they never talk about it.
Huh.
A serious-looking woman, Fahrenheit is a scarred, tough mercenary, the type that shoots first and asks questions later. Extremely loyal to her boss, she values trust above everything else. As a typical good neighbor resident,
this NPC.
she will do anything, even if it means lethal force, to serve her boss and her community.
Huh.
She has the Ash Maker, the minigun. I don't remember her. She's got a super sick Fallout Shelter Online art. Because why would we want that in America?
Whoa, it does look cool. Oh, and Hancock's behind her.
Well, she's the bodyguard. That's wild to think that's his daughter.
She's kind of hot.
Okay.
Just saying. In the Fallout Shelter Online art, come on. Look at that little smirk.
I don't know, dude. Drawings don't really do anything for me.
Well, your loss.
Okay. That's Hancock.
That's lore.
That's lore. Anything you want to say before I end it?
I didn't really spend a lot of time with Hancock, so I don't really know anything about him except like that he was kind of a grumpy old bitch.
Wow. Yeah, I don't really know. I didn't really use him all that much. He was just kind of, all right, now that you're mine, go to my settlement and I'll get you later.
Yeah. Hi, nice to meet you, Hancock. No, go to the castle.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know I always kept Kate or Curie with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes Nick if I needed something done.
Yeah.
But usually Kate because I'm just wrong.
So let's talk about the computer switch, as I'm going to call it.
The computer switch?
Because I want to know what you think about this. I don't know much about it, other than there's a bunch of different models. I think there's like a model that has a better screen, and there's a model that has a bigger hard drive, and there's a model that might have like better RAM or something.
Better GPU or something. So for those of you who don't know, there is a Steam PC gaming
mobile
thing that's basically Steam and Valve's shit, but on like a Switch-like device.
Yeah.
Like a Nintendo Switch.
They had a queue open that you had to pay $5 for the thing to pre-order it. So you had to pay $5 to get into the queue and then pay. Which, whatever.
I'm like looking at it now.
I think the cheapest one is like $400.
Which, for something that's like the Switch, that's like, I mean, it's what? It's 64 gigabytes. It has a case.
You're a case.
And it is promising like PC gaming in a form factor like this. I don't think that's an unfair price.
It isn't. It's not. But like, I saw a meme that it was a picture of the Steam Deck and a Switch, and it was like, the Switch does not play League of Legends, so the Switch wins. But
that's
like,
very funny.
Here's my thing is like, people play PC because they think they're better than everyone else. No,
it's true.
People play PC because they want higher fidelity. They want a higher frame rate. They want the inconvenience of having to configure every time.
It's for tinkering and enthusiast. It's the enthusiast environment.
So, like, the number one argument that I've heard is you want the enthusiast, you want the hardcore group to buy this casual item. If you're a hardcore PC player and you buy this, you're not allowed to shit on people for buying consoles anymore.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who this is for.
It's neat, but it's not like, oh, I want to play The Witcher 3 on the go. Like, I want to play Fallout 3 while I take a shit, but I'm not going to spend $400 to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give phones 2 or 3 more generations and we're going to be able to emulate PS3 and Xbox 360 games on your phone. Watch. Maybe a few more generations, but still. I'm
just like looking at this website.
You can stream Xbox games to your phone right now with Game Pass. You can
Yeah,
stream it
that's
to
with
an
xCloud,
iPad.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. This doesn't seem like something that I think is significant. If you're gonna get it, you're hyped for it, dude. Go for it. Because there's not.
I think it's cool.
A lot of the games that I think
don't
you
know who
would
it's
play
for.
on the go are already on the Switch. People love Binding of Isaac. I have no interest in it.
I like Binding of Isaac.
But that's a mobile game.
But
what are you gonna
does
do?
this like what software does this run? It says your Steam library everywhere. Does it like run Windows? Is this like a portable PC? What
I don't
is it?
know. The battery life I heard is like 2 to 6 hours depending on the game.
That makes a lot of sense.
You can play Portal 2 for like 4 hours, I heard, on a podcast.
That's a really well optimized game though. You could play Portal 2 on
It's
anything.
a decade old.
Yeah, it's well optimized and a
But
decade
it's
old.
a decade old. What can I play Doom Eternal on? Like, how long can I play? But that's the thing is, like, why would you want to play a game that's quick and frenetic? Like, I'm not going to be playing the Master Chief Collection on the train.
This is the kind of console that I would play like strategy games on.
But
like,
dude, they're selling a dock for it, like the Switch.
yeah, I don't.
So just play your PC.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's cool that like, oh hey, I'm gonna bring my Steam Deck over, and like you can bring the power of your PC library to someone else's house.
Dude,
but
if I came home and I was like, honey, check it out. I got a Steam Deck. Oh, cool. What does that do? You know all the games I play on my computer? Yeah. Well, we could play them in the living room. You know, it's like, so how much did you pay? Let's just say $500? Half a grand, really. Okay. So you're going to put it in the living room. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to be able to play all my games on my computer, but in my living room. And you spend $500. Yeah. So you spend $500 to not walk 20 feet?
yeah, to use the high fidelity equipment that you presumably already own.
You spent
Now-
you could have bought 5 Switch decks. You could have bought 5 Steam decks. I'm sorry, you could have bought 4 Steam decks for the amount of money you put into your PC.
Yeah, well, 5 now because of the GPU market. But
You know what I mean?
if someone's just getting into PC gaming and just getting
This
into
isn't
that
PC gaming.
environment, I can see this as being a good little.
But
like,
this isn't PC
stepping
gaming.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
right.
console
It's really not
gaming.
PC gaming.
If you buy this, you are not allowed to shit on console players. This
it's not
this
really-
proves to me even more how dumb the argument of PC versus console is. People just want to play games.
Yeah.
What, like, maybe you're super into indies and you don't have a PlayStation, you don't have an Xbox, you don't have a Switch. And as good as a Switch is right now for indies, Steam is way better.
Yeah, Steam has the much better selection for indie games.
So if you're super into indies, maybe this is what you'll go for. Mm-hmm. But guess what? You're playing on a console, you peasant. Like,
And not all indie games are optimized to the same standards. I mean, most of them now have a controller support built in because it's kind of like a must thing.
yeah.
Like, it's a must if you're developing for PC to have a controller layout.
Unless you're Dark
Especially
Souls.
because yeah.
Dark Souls, they optimize it just for, if I remember correctly, they optimize it for a controller and not for mouse and keyboard. So, like, if you go into controls,
It's like it's like when you play Skyrim on PC and it's like this UI was very clearly made for
a console.
a console.
Yeah.
That's why whenever I play Skyrim, I have to play with Sky UI because it changes it to like a PC UI and
Yeah.
it's like good again.
Yeah.
I've kind of had a hankering for Skyrim, which is scary because
Me
whenever I have a
too.
hankering for Skyrim,
Stream it,
usually
stream it,
means
stream it,
something.
stream it, stream it. Stream it. If you're going to do it, stream it.
yeah.
That's how I justify playing games. Because I feel guilty
Stream
when
it?
I play games. If I stream it, I won't feel guilty because I'm doing something productive. I streamed The
I don't
Last of
feel
Us.
guilty playing games. I don't
Oh,
feel
I
guilty
do.
playing
I do. I feel like I'm
games at
wasting
all.
time. I feel like I'm wasting time because I feel like I could be editing something. I could be working on the show. I could be trying to get in contact with you and you're not going to answer so we can schedule something. Like, I feel like I could be doing so many more other things. And it's just
Yeah.
like I'll sit down for an hour to play Halo and I'm like 15 minutes in, I'm like, why are you wasting time?
I don't feel guilty for playing games when I set aside that time for like it to be my self-care activity. But for that, when that's the case, I don't want other people there. I want to play a game that's just me in the game.
Yeah.
Because if I'm playing games with someone, then that's not a me activity, that's a social activity. And my brain isn't always prepared for a social activity. It sometimes just needs alone time.
See, for me, playing games is social because I'm not going to play it unless I can play with somebody. I'm playing Overwatch, and I'm playing Overwatch just because it's me sitting down and talking to my friend as we play.
Because it's a social activity, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to play Overwatch by myself. I play factions by myself the other day, but I had the chat there to talk to.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that social connection there.
So,
but for me, I have a very singular connection with games right now.
I can't do it anymore. I don't know what it is. I can't do it. I want to sit down and just play. I would love to sit down and try to enjoy Skyrim because I haven't liked it the past few times I've played it. I would as much as I love Fallout 3, I've downloaded it and not played it.
Skyrim is a decade old.
And
it kind of shows its date at this point.
No, but I'm saying, like, I played it for the 80 hours, 100 hours that I first played it for and walked away and was like, I don't have to play this ever again. But what I'm getting at is, like, I have Fallout 3 on my Series X. I've yet to play it.
Does it run well?
I've yet to play it. Because I feel guilty when I play video games by myself.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm wasting time. Like I could be doing other things. I think it's the same reason why I had that falling out of love with D&D for a while. Where it was just like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I the age that I am and I'm still doing this? I feel like I should have.
Is really a part of it.
I guess. I don't know. Growing up, I remember being told, oh, you'll stop playing video games one day. You'll grow out of it.
I was never told that.
I remember everybody telling me that. Like, everybody telling me that. Oh, that's for kids. There'll be a time where you just won't play them anymore. You won't have any interest in it. And, like, I sit down to play and it was like, if Kyle texts me and he's like, yo, Sea of Thieves, I'm like, I'm in. Like, we're sitting down, we're playing, yo ho ho, we're gonna play, we're gonna pillage Yar, like, we're gonna have a good time. But, like, I can't bring myself to play Fallout 3. That's why I played New Vegas on stream. Because I wanted to play Fallout, and it was just like
that little interaction, yeah.
Yeah, even if nobody's watching, it's that potential of somebody joining and being like, "Hey, can you do this?" or "Hey, can you check this out?" or "Hey, did you know this happens?" "Oh, I didn't. Let's go check that out."
Or "Hi, just check it in."
Like, I don't know what it is. I can't bring myself to play.
Maybe you just need to find something that really lights that spark for you.
That was The Last of Us 2. I never felt guilty playing that game.
It seemed like you had a good time with God of War.
But even at the end, I was playing it with you guys. Because you were here. You know what I mean? Because remember, it was nice and cold, and I said, let's open the windows and make it feel like we're in Midgard?
In the cold.
Yeah, like... Yeah. So, like... I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, I'd like to play games with people. I really enjoy that lately, but I just can't do it by myself.
For me, I've been having trouble playing games with people. The outlier there is Final Fantasy, because I can play myself, because I don't have to interact with all the people around me.
Yeah.
Because it's an MMO. I can basically do my own thing, and no one will ever bother me.
Yeah. I just think it's wild how you and I have never played video games together.
Yeah, we, don't really game together.
We never have.
Yeah.
I bought you either Overwatch or Grand Theft Auto for the PlayStation, and we played it once for, 30, 40 minutes, and then never again. We played Gary's Mod once together. I don't think I've ever played a video game with you outside of that. I've watched you play. You've watched me play. We've never played together.
I wonder why that is. I wonder what's up with that.
I don't know. it's wild to me because I think about it all the time. Where I'm like, I was playing Sea of Thieves with Kyle, and I was like, we need
played Minecraft
here.
once in a while here and there.
No, we set up that server and never did anything with it. We were like, guys, don't worry. 2021 will be the year of the Minecraft server. The Minecraft Let's Plays. We never did it. I mean, you still have the server, right?
It's around here somewhere.
We
got a lot of data.
We played Minecraft together for that one episode, and that was it.
Yeah.
We've never played video games together.
I think it's because I like such singular experiences.
Maybe. See, for a long time, but for a long time, that's all I played. All I played was singular experiences. And
then at that point, I was like, hey, I'm doing some multiplayer stuff. And you're like, nah, I'm cool on my own.
No, I don't even think that was the case because you didn't have an Xbox.
Really?
You didn't have an Xbox.
Yeah, I've never really had an Xbox. And I've always kind of been on my little PC game.
Yeah. We've never played games together.
Except all those mind games.
I don't know.
How could this not make you want to play Fallout 3 right now? This music.
I want to play Fallout 3 every minute of every goddamn day.
Well, then turn your ass around and go play it on your Xbox.
I walked into a thrift store the other day and they had a copy of Fallout 3 for the PC, and I almost bought it.
Just because it's Fallout 3?
I own several copies of Fallout 3.
They're all there, yeah.
I don't need another copy, but I almost bought it.
I own several licenses for
it's the big box copy, and I don't have the big box copy. I'm gonna go back to that thrift store after work and go and pick it up. I don't know why the I have it. And I don't need it. But
you don't need it.
But it's for the collection. Like,
you gotta have it.
Here's my favorite series. I haven't played it in a long time. Here's my favorite game. I feel like I'm waiting for something. Like I'm waiting for someone. I need to fall in love with somebody, and then they need to break my heart. For? I'm waiting for someone to fall in love with somebody. They break my heart, so I can just kind of retreat into Fallout 3 and be like, I was playing this when I was happy. Like that's what I need. Like I need like,
or just you need Fallout 5.
Yeah, which 2028, baby.
Well, it only took 10 years to get Fallout 4, so.
Yeah, it took a long ass time. I come home from work and it's like, do I want to veg out on the couch or do I want to cook? And then I cook and then I'm exhausted. I don't feel like doing anything.
That's how I feel, except sometimes I skip the cooking and then just take a shower and go to bed.
There's not enough time in the day.
I know.
There just isn't.
Do you know who does have enough time in the day?
I was going to say that, but I thought we could think of something better. Who?
It's Shane Ivers. He took his time today and made our intro music Feather Duster. If you want to pick that up, you can get it at www.silvermansounds.com/free music/Feather Duster. Vince, tell us about the social media, please.
There's a link in the description below to Olive's Twitter, my Twitter, the show's Twitter, and a bunch of other links that'll take you to the show's affiliate stuff. While you're down there, check out the Redbubble. One more time, here's Lamp. Thanks for buying a shirt, homie. There's going to be a bunch of other stuff down there you could check out, like our Discord. If you want to choose what's lore for next week, join the Discord. I'll be running Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime around there. I will ask the question. We record on Wednesdays. I will ask the question. If you get it right, if you're the first person to get it right, you get to choose lore. It's anything, as long as we haven't already done it.
And you better answer before I answer.
You're not allowed to.
And I will anyway.
The Redbubble's there. The Patreon is there. Again, thank you to the Patreon. You can get us anywhere where you could download a podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment, leave a like, leave a 5-star, leave a response video. Anything else?
I'm tickled pink. That's it.
You're the worst. I hate you. Bye, everybody.
I love you.
Be safe.
Bye, everyone.
How do I stop? How do I stop?
Atomic Radio Hour Podcast. A Ghoulman Entertainment production.